Mastering money mindset. People say they want more of it. But look at how they actually think. They avoid. You think your money problem is a money problem. Turns out it isn't. It's a thinking problem wearing a money costume. And until you see that, no raise, no side hustle, no lucky break is going to save you. Because money doesn't stay with people who can't stay in control of themselves. Most people are told making more money is about working harder. Hard work matters. Skill matters. Opportunity matters. Yet none of those things rescue a mind that's distracted, emotional, impulsive, and untrained. That's the part nobody wants to hear. It's easier to blame the economy, easier to blame bad luck, easier to blame the people who got there first. But the harder truth is this: most people stay broke because their own mind is working against them. They want results without becoming the kind of person who can hold those results. So in this episode of Mastering Money Mindset, we're breaking down the mindset most investors never build and why every financial decision you make is downstream of it. 1. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a thinking problem. Let's start with what people get wrong about money. Discipline. They avoid discomfort. They avoid hard decisions. They avoid learning. They avoid risk, and then wonder why nothing changes. That isn't a money problem. That's a mental problem. Because money follows behavior, and behavior follows mindset. If your thinking is impulsive, fearful, or distracted, your financial life will reflect that. You don't rise above the quality of your decisions for very long. You might catch a break. You might get a temporary win. Except an undisciplined mind will sabotage whatever it builds. That's why some people make money and lose it. Why some get opportunities and waste them. Why some stay busy for years and still build nothing real. They trained the tool. They never trained the operator. And once you understand that, the next layer makes sense. 2. Wealth rewards discipline more than it rewards intelligence. Here's something most people don't want to admit. Making more money has less to do with intelligence than with discipline. Not because intelligence doesn't matter, but intelligence without discipline becomes inconsistency. And inconsistency destroys momentum. You can know what to do and still fail because you don't do it long enough. You can understand money and stay broke because your habits are weak. You can have talent and lose because your impulses keep overruling your standards. That's the herd. The herd wants comfort now, pleasure now, results now, proof before action, confidence before effort. But wealth doesn't reward that mindset. Wealth rewards patience, clarity, and the person who keeps moving after the excitement is gone. Money isn't only earned in big moments. It's built in repeated decisions. What you buy, what you ignore, what you save, what you study, what you tolerate, what you delay. Those decisions look small in the moment. Over time, they build either freedom or regret. This is also why delayed gratification still matters. Can you sacrifice now to gain later? Can you keep building when nobody's clapping? Can you stay loyal to a long-term plan while the herd chases fast validation? Because wealth is usually built in a season where it doesn't look impressive. You're learning, working, saving, compounding invisible wins. That stage feels slow. And that's exactly why most people quit. But discipline alone isn't enough. There's a deeper trap underneath it. 3. If you can't control impulses and emotion, money will control you. People think they need more money. Sometimes they do. But what they often need first is more control. Because more income with weak habits doesn't create wealth. It creates more expensive mistakes. Someone who can't control spending will spend more when they earn more. Someone who can't control emotion will make poor decisions under pressure. Someone who can't delay gratification will keep choosing temporary pleasure over long-term power. And money decisions aren't logical. They're emotional. Fear makes people freeze. Ego makes them overspend. Stress sends them running to convenience. Impatience makes them chase shortcuts. Pride makes them pretend they're doing better than they are. Strong people aren't people who never feel pressure. Instead, they're people who feel pressure without becoming reckless. The person who stays clear under pressure usually beats the person who panics. In negotiating, in investing, in saving, in saying no. That last word matters. No to lifestyle inflation. No to emotional spending. No to weak standards. No to the need to look rich before becoming rich. Because most people are performing wealth instead of building it. Real wealth is quieter. It's built in restraint, in patience, in disciplined invisibility long before it ever becomes visible. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Your financial life mirrors your identity. People don't act from strategy. They act from self-image. If someone sees themselves as irresponsible, they behave that way. If someone sees themselves as always behind, they keep acting from scarcity. If someone sees themselves as a quitter, they keep abandoning good plans. If someone sees themselves as weak under pressure, they keep proving it. Instead of waiting for confidence to change behavior, the work is in flipping that order. Every financial decision is a vote. Stick to a budget. Vote for discipline. Save instead of flex. Vote for maturity. Learn instead of blame. Vote for ownership. Build instead of consume. Vote for power. Identity doesn't change through one speech, one quote, or one motivational burst. It changes through repeated evidence. You show yourself over and over who you're becoming. And once identity shifts, behavior stops feeling forced. You're not pretending to be someone who builds wealth. You're acting like someone who does. But identity needs something real to point at. And that's where most people break. 5. If you want to make more money, you usually need to become more valuable. Better thinking, better execution, better problem solving, better consistency. None of that happens by accident. It happens through focus. The herd has no focus. Scrolling, reacting, complaining, starting and stopping, living in fragments. That's why so many people stay average, not because they're doomed, because they're divided. Broken attention produces broken results. If you want more money, protect your focus like it's the asset it actually is. Focus helps you learn faster, create more, follow through, and build real skill. And skill, applied with discipline over time, tends to produce money. Not instantly, not magically, reliably. Which leads to the question almost nobody asks. 6. The real question isn't how to make money. It's who you must become to keep it. Most people ask, how do I make more money? Actually, the better question is, who do I need to become to handle more money well? More self-control, more patience, more skill, more honesty, more courage, more focus, more consistency. Because there are people who can make money once, and there are people who build a life that keeps producing it. Those are not always the same people. The first chases income. The second becomes the kind of person income follows. That's the game. At the end of the day, making more money isn't only a financial challenge. It's a mental one. Before you manage money well, you have to manage yourself well. Your impulses, your focus, your emotions, your habits, your standards, your identity. That's where wealth begins. Not with wishful thinking, not with fake hustle, not with trying to look successful before becoming successful. With discipline, with patience, with the refusal to think and live like the herd. So if you want more money, train the mind that makes the decisions about money. Train it to stay calm. Train it to delay gratification. Train it to choose long-term power over short-term comfort. Because money doesn't stay with people who can't stay in control of themselves. If you want more videos breaking down wealth psychology, money discipline, and the books the system would rather you skip, subscribe to Outlaw Wisdom. Because average thinking creates average lives. And this channel was never built for average. Until next time, stay wise, stay free, and stop waiting for permission to build.